Today's Monday, so that means it's time for Mindset Monday with the Covert Closer. How do you handle yourself when you're feeling jealous or left out? Those feelings can really mess with your productivity, and they can get in the way of you accomplishing the things that you want because I'm the type of guy I tend to stew. And especially if I feel like, someone has an unfair advantage or someone has something that I want, I get really down on myself, and I kind of wonder why I don't have that either. Why don't I don't have that thing, or why can't I get that? Because I grew up very poor. My mom was a single parent. She made $10 an hour for most of my life. She wanted to make sure that I went to a quality school and not an inner city school. So she always found a way to make sure that we lived in a nice enough neighborhood to where I didn't have to go to an inner city school. I could go to a school with better off kids in a suburb where I would get a better education than going to an inner city school where I might get my ass kicked or get a shitty education because of the resources that were allocated there. There was a large income gap between me and the other kids I was going to school with. These are the type of kids who had whatever they wanted. Every Christmas or birthday they got a ton of gifts, PlayStation, toys, whatever they wanted, right? But me, and don't get me wrong, I usually got at least one thing that I wanted. But for me as a kid, it was a big gap. They had new shoes, they had new clothes all the time, they had new school supplies, and I didn't understand why I didn't have those things, and they didn't understand why I didn't have those things. I was completely out of place. Socioeconomically. And anytime I asked my mom for any of that stuff, it was always, a wait for Christmas, a wait for your birthday, which are spaced 6 months apart for me. And as a kid, that's really tough to see all your friends getting all these new trendy clothes and shoes and everything that you want, and you don't have it, and you don't understand why. And so as a kid, this really instilled a weird sense of jealousy in me. And a weird sense of, no control. I felt like I had no control over my economic status as a kid. And that really messed with my head for a long time as an adult. Carried over into every single sales job that I ever had. Up until, pretty recently in the last couple of years where I've been able to recognize it and get over it in the way that I'm going to teach you guys how to get over it. When I sold TVs, I'd be jealous of the people buying a TV that I wanted. Whenever I saw someone driving a fancy car, I'd be jealous of the car they were driving and them. Whenever I saw someone with a girl that I thought was attractive, I'd be jealous of them and that girl and why I couldn't find a girl that looked like that or acted like that. It permeated every single attitude I had, and it made it really hard for me to be successful. When you're jealous, oh man, you can't think about what you're doing. All you can think about is what other people are doing and how unfair it is that you can't have that. It's all up to you. You have to focus on yourself only. You can't be stuck in jealousy. You can't be thinking about all the disadvantages that you have. You have to be thinking about ways to create yourself advantages. I have learned the secret. I've learned the secret to conquering those jealous thoughts when they come in. I've learned the secret to getting over yourself and focusing on what's important. That secret is gratuity. Gratefulness. Be grateful for the things that you have. Be grateful for the advantages that are presented to you. Be grateful for the people that are in your life. And I don't mean just a generic, oh, I'm so grateful. I don't mean that. What I mean is start to pay attention to your mind. Start to pay attention when those jealous thoughts jump in and you start thinking about how unfair it is that you're not at the top of the board, or how unfair it is that that guy's got a BMW and you've got a Honda Civic, or how unfair it is that you're 30 pounds overweight but that guy can eat whatever he wants and has a six-pack. Whenever you start thinking about all those things, you can't possibly know all the circumstances that led up to those people having those things, can you? No. And so all you're doing is giving your mind a reason, a way out of taking responsibility for what you should be doing instead. So when you feel those things come into your mind, pay attention for that. When you feel those things start to pop into your mind, stop yourself. And stop yourself and think of three things that you're grateful for. Think of those three things in your mind and really hold it inside and really feel that gratuity, that gratefulness. Let it permeate you. You begin to realize that you're in control. You begin to realize that your life is on your terms and your path. And it starts with letting go of jealousy, letting go of victimhood by counteracting it with gratefulness. All right, guys, that has been Mindset Monday with the Covert Closer. Get out there and close some deals. And if you want more free sales training like this, make sure you head over to salesespionage.com or my profile, click the link on Facebook, and you can join our Sales Espionage Mastermind. I look forward to seeing you there, and this has been Justin, the Covert Closer on Mindset Monday.